And New Zealand is determined to keep the Omicron variant out of that country by strengthening border restrictions and extending hotel quarantine requirements for returning citizens. Alexandra Birt is one of the founders of the group Grounded Kiwis, a group which has launched a legal challenge to the measures, and she joins us now. Alexandra Birt, welcome from Wellington in New Zealand. Why did you get involved with this group?
So the group launched about July, August of this year because a number of different individuals were having similar concerns about the border restrictions in New Zealand and the inability of Kiwi citizens to get back into the country because of the MIQ, Managed Isolation and Quarantine system. And the way the system works in New Zealand currently is that you're required to enter into a lottery. And if you're lucky enough to have a low enough number in that lottery, you'll be able to book a spot in MIQ. But this means people are waiting months and months and months on end just to get one of these spots. And the restrictions were meant to ease in January for travellers from Australia and in February for those from the rest of the world. And that's now been pushed back to the end of February, meaning this lottery system is going to go on for another 2 months, which is causing great hardship to New Zealanders all around the world.
So do you think the lottery system should be dumped altogether?
So absolutely, and that's something that we have been strongly against since it was introduced. It's a very unfair system in that a person who enters for the first time has just as much chance of getting a spot as a person who's entered 10 lotteries previously. But it's not even just about the lottery system itself, it's about who actually needs to be in MIQ, who needs to be in hotel quarantine. We've seen, in Australia, the quarantine restrictions at the border have gradually eased over time, whereas that hasn't happened in New Zealand. In fact, we've just gone back up to a stricter measure. And so we've got people who've been stuck in Western Australia, say, for 6 months, unable to get back, fully vaccinated, can't get a spot in this lottery, and they can't even yet self-isolate at home, which is just ridiculous in our view.
Do you accept some restrictions are needed to limit the spread of Omicron?
So yes, our group has never been, it's not about throwing open the borders, I should say, or doing anything in a dangerous way. It's about ensuring that New Zealand citizens can come home and that they can come home safely. And the limited capacity that is available in MIQ hotel quarantine goes to those who are from higher risk places, people who are more likely to, say, have a new variant such as Omicron. But then in terms of people who are coming from low risk places, there's no sense or need scientifically for them to be in a hotel quarantine system. They could be self-isolating at home.
And what's happening with your court action?
So we filed proceedings back in October, alleging that the government's operation of the MIQ system is a breach of the New Zealand Bill of Rights. So that protects the right of all New Zealand citizens to enter their own country. And with the current system, we've seen delays of 3, 6, 9 months in terms of people being able to get back. So the crux of the cause of action is that the system is a breach of Bill of Rights, and that New Zealand government needs to prioritise and find a way to bring New Zealand citizens home.
Okay, Alexandra Birt, thanks so much for having a chat to us from Wellington.
No worries, thank you.